Never saw this many people at this vendor before. Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. Recently I made a video about the new Slimlines we have in the game. And the question that often comes back is Multiverse. Where could we get those new Slimlines if we did not create a new character? Basically, with the new character creation in this Universe Online, when you create a new character, you have access to a whole bunch of new Slimlines that we didn't have before. And the question that keeps on coming back is Multiverse. If I have an old character, how can we get those Slimlines? This is how. You have to come to the House of Legends, and you have to come and see your friend Gentleman Ghost. So let's take a look at Gentleman Ghost and let us see what exactly is he selling. And yeah, the NPC is pretty freaking small. Like, I have the medium athletic body size, and you can see how Gentleman Ghost is freaking small compared to my character.
My fearsomely anointed friend, your looks must slay.
So first, our friend is selling skins. If you're looking for skins for your character, if somehow there's some skins you did not get at character creation, you can come here and get them from our friend Gentleman Ghost. Then there's the hairstyle. Yeah, it's a bit of a funny bit with the devs. Obviously, the Gentleman Ghost doesn't have a head, so it doesn't have a hairstyle. Doesn't have skins either when you come to think of it. So again, all the hairstyles you can get at character creation, you can purchase them here later on in the game if you want to. Obviously, there are some female hairstyles that the male characters cannot use. And with the new styles that have been added to the character creation system, they have added a tight perm hairstyle, which we won't be able to see with this character. Doesn't matter. And of course, there's going to be the various styles like the face, emblems, chest, back, hands, waist, legs, feet, and more. So for some of the styles, they took some of the older styles and they just gave them a new texture. So these are the styles that have been retextured. But what if you don't want the new textures? So now the full domino head style does have some new textures. But what they have done is that they have renamed the full domino head style to the classic full domino. Kinda hard to tell the difference, but the textures are a bit different. So as a comparison, this is the classic full domino. And this is the new full domino. This is the classic full domino. And this is the new full domino. I guess one of the main differences you can notice is the eye colors. Now the eye colors are linked to the colors of the face mask, as opposed to previously the eye colors were linked to the color of the eyes of the character. So previously it gave you a bit of extra freedom in order to be able to customize the colors of your head style. Now you will be limited to one of the 4 colors in your color palette. But previously with the now classic head style, you actually had access to a 5th color with the eye colors. It's a minor subtlety, but in some cases it might make a difference. And I can already hear you ask, where can you get the classic full domino? If you are a hero character, you have to go into the watchtower, and at the very bottom of the watchtower, there's this big room called the war room, where you will see a whole bunch of vendors that will sell you some of the styles you get at character creation. But if you are an evil villain, there's a whole bunch of vendors pretty much in the middle of the Hall of Doom that you can use to purchase some of those styles. So these are pretty much the new headpieces that have been retextured. Here we have the face mask that have been retextured. From what I can tell, it's pretty much all the face mask we had before with new textures. For the emblems, we had the emblems on this vendor for quite some time, so I don't think there was any changes to the emblems. These are pretty much all the emblems you could get at character creation. As far as I can tell, I don't think they've added new emblems, but I could be mistaken. But then when we get to the chest pieces, that's where you get a big difference. So the accent panel slimline shirt, which is the style you can see here. Yeah, I already made a video about those styles, but we're already here, so why not? Here I made a boo-boo. I should use black to shoot the new styles. We'll see why in just a minute. So we have the ancient accent slimline shirt. I should use black to shoot the new styles, because some of them new styles do have some shiny bits added to them. Even though it's not an enhanced version of the style, it's the only version of the style we have. We do have some nice shiny bits to this style. And I did remove the emblem as well for this one. And then we have the high velocity slimline. It does give us a slimline shirt with short sleeves, and you can also see the pants. Also, even though there's only 3 colors, the blue is actually 3 separate colors as well, so it does give the illusion that there's actually more than 3 colors with this character. Because we end up with pretty much a dark blue, a medium blue, and a light blue. Then we have the middle panel, the Slimline. If you saw my Flash video, that's pretty much the suit that came with the Flash build by default. Then the ribbed Slimline. I do have mixed feelings about that one. Well, it's not a bad looking style, but those ribbed textures looks a bit weird to me. Although I seem to recall there was like I think an X-Men costume way back when, in the late 90s, early 2000s, that kind of had a pattern like that. Although I could be misremembering. It's been a while since I read those X-Men comics. And then we get into the streetwear, the version with the jacket and without the jacket. There are people who have been asking for more street clothes, so here we are. And in this case, there's also a pair of shoes. And here you can see the version without the jacket. Although they did give the character tiny arms. Oh well. I guess you have to be really skinny to pull this off. Although we do have a couple of new capes as well, the center stripe cape. Although this one is a fun bit, they gave us some asymmetrical cape. I really like it. And obviously, you can see it does have some new and improved textures on the cape. We already had the embellished cape. Obviously here we have some new textures, the same with the full cape, the rounded cape, the short cape, oh the stripped cape, let's go with that one. So it's not unlike the full cape, but it has a few extra lines added to it. Again, the tattered cape, we already had that, the simple quiver, the small bird wings. So the small bird wings is now labeled the classic small bird wings. And we have the newer version with better textures. And the same for the gloves, and these are pretty much gloves we already had, but now with better textures. Although it does get a bit more tricky with these gloves. Like here you can see the edged trim gloves. Although these used to be called the Tall Trim Classic or something like that. Now these are called the Classic Edge Trim. And we have the new version here. So again, this seems to have some quote-unquote better textures. Although there's a bit of texture added to the gloves as well. Let's put it white, it'll make more sense. So here you can see the gloves are not exactly white, they're off-white because there's already some built-in textures into the gloves. So if you really want to have white gloves, you will have to go with the classic version of the gloves. And the same for the belt. These are pretty much belts we already had, but with better textures. And again, if you're looking for the older version of the belt, odds are it's been renamed the classic something. And we have the new pants, you already saw what those look like. And the boots. Although there is a few new pair of boots, there's the heeled boots. So it would seem that the devs decided to give high heels to male characters for some reason. Although it's not really new, we saw that already way back when with the bombshell Wonder Woman boots. The same with the tie-tied boots. But if you really wanted to have those boots specifically without the heels, not an option. And we already saw the stylish streetwear shoes. I already made a video about those new Slimline suits. I'll put a link to those videos in the description down below. I made a version also for the female characters. So there you go guys, so if you do like those new Slimline suits we got in the game, don't worry, you do not have to create a new character to get those suits. Just come in and see your friend Gentleman Ghost, and you can purchase those suits from him. And I have to admit, I was doing the happy dance when I saw that we did get some new Slimline suits. Slimline suits is something that is highly requested, so I was very happy to see that they finally gave us some new suits. We have a nice Deadpool with us.